Hello to the only two people who ever watch my fucking channel anymore. Welcome to the Crash Bandicoot boss tier list. I'm joined here today by John. Say hello, John.
He locked him in my basement again.
Yes, point and laugh at this user.
Yeah.
It has been a long time since John and I have gotten into a voice call with each other to do a proper tier list. The last time we did that was 8 months ago, and that was with the Pizza Tower music tier list. I do apologize, and this is something I'm going to mention probably at the start of every single video. I do apologize if you hear any background noise at all. Hopefully the music that is playing right now is just enough to very almost barely muffle out any background noises, hopefully. So yeah, today we're going to be doing a Crash Bandicoot bosses tier list. Now, of course, as you are probably seeing the things right now, and if you're a Crash Bandicoot fan, you realize that some of the bosses are being excluded or are not included. There's a good reason for this. I have not played a whole lot of the other Crash Bandicoot games. The Crash Bandicoot games that are listed right here are pretty much the only ones I've actually played. So this tier list will not include any racing games, the only one party game, unless if you count Crash Team Rumble. So Crash Bash will not be included. None of the GBA games, none of the handheld games will be included. Crash of the Titans, Mind Over Mutant will not be included because I have not played much of those games. I've only played the first level in Crash of the Titans. I've not played any of Mind Over Mutant, so...
I didn't complete Crash of the Titans, so I couldn't even say anything about those.
I still can't say anything about it because I've only played the first level. So, yeah, this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing all bosses from Crash 1 to 3, Wrath of Cortex, Twinsanity, and Crash 4. Because I feel like that's good enough, to be honest. So, I don't know if there's anything else I really need to add here before we get into this, so... Yeah, I don't.
Let us start.
Yeah, so the first game we're going to be covering is Crash Bandicoot 1. Now, we are not starting off very, very strong here, because Papu Papu is the very first boss in the first Crash Bandicoot game in the Crash series as a whole. His boss fight... It's really easy. It's not memorable, like, in the slightest.
It's because... I think it's because... It's more because he introduces you to how you're gonna fight the bosses, you know?
Yeah.
Of course, it wouldn't be that memorable. Though I think that Papu Papu should have more things in the future, because it's a character that could work, you know?
Well, if it wasn't for the whole entire thing that Papu Papu is based off of, you know, stereotypes involving, you know...
Yeah, but just make him based on the actual tribe, or even fake out a tribe and not make him stereotypical.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen, though. One thing I want to mention here before we continue, I was actually thinking about putting over boss recordings over all of this stuff. However, with Papu Papu, I would literally have to, like, record the session, then reverse it, then play it again, and reverse it, and keep going until we actually finish the session. Because we're pretty much done talking about Papu Papu, and as quick as we're done with the boss.
Gameplay for the Crash Bash one, even if we're not going to talk about it.
Nah. Oh, yeah, I did remember what I was going to mention before we started this. For reasons that should be 100% obvious, we are not including the Insane Trilogy stuff, considering that all the bosses in there are the exact same in the PS1 versions, excluding Papu Papu, who has, like, a little bit more health, and that's it.
Well, we are technically including it. We're gonna compare both the Insane Trilogy and the first one. Like, for example, you said that Papu Papu now has more life, but I don't think that'll sway your
but that still does not change my opinion on Papu Papu. It's a D tier boss. I know it's the first boss of, like, the entire Crash series, but there's literally nothing else I can say about it.
I put it on B because it's not good, but it's not bad, you know. It's just meh.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's be done with Papu Papu because I got nothing else. Next is Ripperoo. Now, funny thing I should mention this and John's already making jokes about this. The first time I fought Ripperoo, I fucking despised it. Because my impatient ass wanted to get the fight over and done with, but I had to strategize and wait for the big things of TNT to float down the river in order to, hurt Ripperoo.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, on my replay again, when I did it on the PS1, it took me like a couple minutes, not even to beat Ripperoo, because I actually was patient that time. So I don't really have much else to say about Ripperoo, excluding like trying to jump from platform to platform, which can be fucking abysmal sometimes. I would say
also is an easy boss.
I know, but I would probably say that Ripperoo's B tier for me.
I'll also put it on B.
Not the hardest boss, not the easiest boss. It is a nice, challenging, fun type of boss, but it's not anything too out of the ordinary.
The problem is that he doesn't try to attack you, kind of,
Yeah.
We're gonna get there, but Tiny Tiger's first boss battle is pretty much the idea for Ripperoo, but better.
Yeah.
We're gonna get there.
Yeah, we'll get there anyways. But yeah, Ripperoo, we're not going to really factor in any, character designs and whatnot. We're just going to basically be sticking to, the whole, I guess, the fight, the aesthetics of it, I guess. So we're not going to be ranking them separately. It's mainly just fighting the boss. But I will say, though, I do like the waterfall aesthetic for Ripperoo. It is very nice.
The stage is cool. The
Yeah.
stage for Papu Papu also is cool. That is just on a small hut.
Yeah, I mean, it's alright, but anyways. Alright, next is Koala Kong. I actually really like fighting Koala Kong. I know a lot of people say that they don't like fighting Koala Kong because it's kind of, boring and not really threatening, but I had a fun time doing it.
It was okay. It was fine.
Yeah. Also, I want to say it was really funny once I beaten Koala Kong, and then I went on to, Heavy Machinery or whatever the next level was. I was playing on RetroArch with the PS1 version of Crash, and I forgot that I did not save. So, when I actually pressed my button to load my last save state, I jumped right back into the Koala Kong fight. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Koala Kong jump scare.
Yeah. I quickly defeated him again, but yeah. Koala Kong's actually a pretty fun boss. I feel like it kind of not really picks up in fun things with all the bosses after Ripperoo, to be honest, but yeah, I like the gimmick where you have to dodge the rocks that he throws at you and the falling TNT, and then the big rock that you have to hit at him, but also time it so it doesn't hit a minecart.
Yeah. I think it's one of the difficult bosses from Crash 1.
Yeah.
Aside from maybe Cortex.
But yeah, I don't know really what else to say about it. I do really like Koala Kong's boss fight. Koala Kong is a pretty good boss.
And then he's pretty much abandoned forever.
Pretty much. He was replaced with Tiny Tiger, but yeah. And also, not gonna lie though, speaking of Tiny Tiger, I know that we haven't gotten to this thing yet. I have not played much of Crash of the Titans or Mind Over Mutant. I have seen Tiny Tiger in Crash of the Titans. What the fuck? What did they do to his voice? It sounds so stupid.
I don't know.
He sounds like a desperate child.
They probably saw Kung Fu Panda as they saw Tigress and what if male? And instead of being tomboy, tomgirl.
Can I do an impression of Tiny Tiger? I gotta try to remember what he sounded like.
Go ahead.
It's it's
a very flamboyant.
Crash, I'm gonna defeat you. You need to not do what you're doing right. I don't know if that's exactly what it sounds like, but it's very fucking stupid, and I do not like the voice. It is not fitting.
Yeah. It's pretty much Freddy from GTA San Andreas. From
Which I have not played. Which I have not played much of.
Yeah.
Alright, well that's Koala Kong done and over with. Next is Pinstripe. How do you pronounce it? Potoroo?
Pinstripe Potoroo.
Potoroo.
I think it's Potoroo.
Yeah.
Potoroo.
This is also another A-tier boss for me. So I'm not going to put it above Koala Kong because as much as I hate to say it, all that you're doing for the fight is just...
In terms of boss battle, it is cool that you're swerving off bullets, but you do that for too long, and you just. I know there's some changes, but hey, if there was something else, a little bit more, like a little bit more challenge, then it would have been good. But for me, it's B tier.
Yeah, and to be honest, like what you're doing for most of the fight, and I know this is like what everybody says about Crash One, is they say like all you do in Pinstripe Potoroo is like you just wait because you're supposed to wait for most bosses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like the idea that you have to like get Pinstripe like when he's like moving or he's like when his gun is jammed or whatnot. Like I do like that idea, but the entire boss is all right. I prefer it more than Ripperoo, but not as much as Koala Kong.
Maybe if he started throwing grenades too, but
Maybe,
sparingly.
maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that's all I really got for Pinstripe. Pretty fun boss. Also, remind me, wasn't the last time when Pinstripe actually appeared in an official Crash game, excluding racing games and whatnot? Wasn't it just Crash Boom Bang?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, wait. He did appear as a cameo in Twinsanity, and
Oh yeah, Twinsanity.
and he was on Crash Team Racing.
Yeah, I excluded Crash Team Racing and whatnot, but
Yeah, the last time which we saw Pinstripe was in Boom Bang, and no, a picture on Crash 4 does not count.
I also find it funny. Now I'm talking about Crash Boom Bang because I find it really funny at the start. I just said like, oh, not include like party games, which would only be Crash Bash. Why do you think I excluded Crash Boom Bang? It looks fucking terrible. I do not have a DS to play it. I've seen the visuals of it. It does not look good at all. I would probably not spend any time playing that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Crash Bash fine though.
All right, next up is Embryo. I feel like Embryo's boss fight is really fun.
They made it better on Crash 4. We're gonna get there, but
yeah, that's kind of like the thing though.
Battle is nice.
That is the thing though with Crash Bandicoot 1. It's like all the bosses are good, but they're not like the best in the Crash series.
I think it's more because you only have jump, spin,
And that's it.
walk. That's it.
But yeah, I don't hate like any of the bosses here, even though I did hate Ripperoo at first, but like I don't necessarily hate any of the bosses. I think they're all nice and cool and stuff like that, but they're not like the best out of the entire series.
Yeah. And the only one. No, the only. Never mind. It was 3. Never mind. I was gonna say something, but it's better not to.
Okay. And then finally, to top it all off in Crash Bandicoot 1, we have the Neo Cortex boss fight. I think that, if I remember correctly, I think this has to be, for right now, one of my most favorite Cortex boss fights.
I think it was alright.
Yeah, like, I prefer it kind of more over the other bosses and stuff like that, but I really do like the entire scenery of the entire boss fight where you're on Neo Cortex's blimp, and in the background you just see like his entire castle just up in flames, burning down and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It is
cool.
It is a really nice boss fight to finish. Like,
It is a good background, is what you're saying. It is
Yeah.
a good stage.
it's a good stage. Like his attacking thing is all right, I guess. Actually, now that I think about it, I might just.
Engine on a second game uses the same attack.
I'm gonna lower down Cortex into A tier actually, because now I think about it, like his thing is like his boss fight is like all right. You just have to dodge projectiles and stuff, but other than that, it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, here's what our Crash Bandicoot 1 thing is right now. Obviously, they're going to move around and such, considering we have a couple more games to go through, but.
I'm not, but you will. Just to clarify, I put Papu Papu, Ripperoo, and Pinstripe on B, Balakong, Nitrous Brio, and New Periwinkle Cortex in A.
Okay. Alright, now with that out of the way, we will now move on to Crash Bandicoot 2. I love Ripperoo's boss fight in Crash 2. I know it's like the
Oh,
first. I know it's the first
yeah,
boss. I know people say that it's really
yeah.
easy, but I really like the entire idea, where it's kind of like
That
a
he hurts
checkerboard.
himself.
It's like a checkerboard where you have to like dodge the TNT and the nitro that he drops down. It's a lot of fun.
I mean, it was so good that they brought that back in Crash Bash for a stage. So
But again, we're not talking about
yeah,
Crash Bash.
I
This is
do
Crash
agree with
Bandicoot
you.
2.
I know, but I'm with what I remember in other games. I will bring them back. I don't remember a lot in Crash Mom, might have a mutant, but I do remember a lot of Crash Bash, and I think that's the only one that's not here on the tier list that I remember. But yeah,
I do like the entire idea that like if you get the true ending in Crash Bandicoot 1, it talks about how Ripperoo like went to therapy sessions and he like graduated and stuff like that. Now he's really smart. I do like how they implemented that idea in the sequel and such,
yeah, he
which is
looked
really nice.
the Professor Roo there, which is still crazy, but he's still crazy intelligent.
Yeah. I don't really have much else to say about Ripperoo for Crash Bandicoot 2. It was actually a pretty fun boss fight to cap off the first game, you know, or start
Even
off.
in Crash 4, they still maintain that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think both Wrath of Cortex and It's About Time, that he still is a professor.
But, yeah.
But yeah.
Anyways, the Komodo Bros. This is another boss fight that I like. I know that they literally throw their fucking swords like in the other direction, and it's like really easy to dodge them. I did really like the entire idea that you have to like dodge projectiles, dodge one of the Komodo brothers, like when they're spitting. And you have to hit it back in order to hit the other one.
Mm-hmm.
It was another boss fight that I really enjoyed.
They like so much that they brought that back in Crash 1. Kind of.
But yeah, like some of these bosses are gonna be like really quick ones. But I feel like once we get probably to like 3, maybe Wrath of Cortex and longer, then
Wrath of Cortex is gonna like rant a lot and just gonna be silent.
Yeah, yeah. I have some words that I need to say about Wrath of Cortex, but we will get there. We will get there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Komodo Bros. I don't really have much else to say. Fun fight. Next is Tiny Tiger. Wow, another S tier. Actually, a lot higher. I really liked Tiny Tiger's boss fight in Crash 2. Since that, you know, it's literally just like Ripperoo, as you said, from Crash 1, but just
I
better.
wouldn't put him higher. I put him A, but I do agree that it is a good boss fight.
Yeah, even towards like the very end when you think that you're done, it's like, nope, you have to get on one more of these platforms before you fall to your death. It is dickish design, but I do think that is pretty funny and pretty creative.
Also, same as Ripperoo, he's the one who dicks himself.
Yeah. But I just really like that you have to, like, you can't physically hurt Tiny Tiger. You're just constantly running away from him and trying to get him to fall into the hole.
Tiny Tiger is not the smart one.
Yeah.
Kong, maybe, but not Tiny Tiger.
Alright. Anyways, next is Engine from Crash 2. Easily, I'm really, really sorry to any of the big Crash fans out there. The Engine boss fight in Crash 2 is probably one of the most boring bosses you can fight in like the first 3 Crash games, to be completely honest.
In my opinion, I don't think it's boring. It's just that it's kind of incomplete. It's an idea that they had, but it wasn't that entirely there. That's why in Crash Warped, that probably had that idea became the Fruit Bazooka and the Engine boss battle in Warped.
I'm gonna be completely honest. When I first got to the Engine boss fight, and I'm not even kidding when I say this, when I first got there, I legitimately had no idea what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, because you can't spin. You throw Wumpas.
But why,
the game just changes out
of
nowhere.
Why? I love Crash 1 through 3 and stuff like that, but why? Why did they have to do that? Again, I know you're just talking about
if that game gave you a bazooka and said like, oh, press this button to shoot the bazooka at or even just like two guns, one on each end of the platform, which he like gets tired in one corner and then you jump on a gun. That could have been better.
That would have been fun. And even like in the Insane trilogy, says that there have been some people that can mod the Insane trilogy. Literally take the Fruit Bazooka from Crash 3, mod that into Crash 2, and I feel like that would be a lot more fun. Because I feel like the one thing that I struggled the most when it comes to Engine's boss fight is trying to fucking hit him. Oh my god! It is so annoying that you physically cannot throw your Wumpa Fruit. You can only throw it forwards, and that's it, which means you're constantly going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, throwing nothing but Wumpa Fruits, dodging lasers and stuff like that. It's just so boring and repetitive. I'm really sorry if people actually like this boss.
From the way you're speaking right now, it's less of boring, more of hard for no reason.
I mean, yeah, because like it strips, as you said, strips away like your spin attack thing, and you can't really dash and stuff like that. Like, literally, they take away like Crash's like two biggest like fucking movement things in Crash 2, and just give you like
go back to Crash 1
yeah,
for a second.
You just like, here, take this apple. It's not an apple, I know. It's like, here, take this stupid colored apple and throw it at this giant machine.
Take this orange.
I
Take
just
this pumpkin.
Like, I didn't even find the boss fight like hard or anything. Like, if we ignored like the entire like repetitiveness of it, I did think it was actually a pretty cool and unique boss. But like, factoring in the Wumpa Fruit throwing thing and you not being able to aim your Wumpa Fruit, it's kind of.
They brought that back later.
It's kind of boring.
But better.
But yeah, again, I'd just like to mention these are our own opinions and such, so we can. If you may disagree on certain things, and that's fine. I may disagree on certain things, and that's fine.
You clicked on a video to know our opinion. Like,
if you're gonna get open
here for our opinion, what are you here for?
And if you're gonna be here up and open,
Are
arms,
those the tones?
If you're here up and open arms about it, and just here to get mad, well, I'm sorry. We have our own opinions and such. If you have your own opinions, leave them down in the comments, which I highly doubt because only one person is watching this right now. If you have your own opinions on some of these bosses, let me know down in the comments below. I will definitely be looking forward to reading them, but for me, I just didn't like the engine boss fight in Crash 2.
Yeah.
Same could be said for the Neo Cortex boss fight in Crash 2.
Oh, but you liked him better than Papo and Engine?
Yeah.
I
mean, literally all you do is just like fly through asteroids, which is
like
the entire concept is pretty cool. That you just have to like chase him and stop him before he gets away. But he could have at least like taken out like his gun and started shooting at you and like maybe, I don't know, blowing up some asteroids instead of scattering around and stuff.
Shooting at you, something like that. When I first played against that, it was a little bit hard for me because I haven't taken jetpack controls. I still haven't managed it yet, but now every time I played afterwards against Neo Cortex in Crash 2, it's just very easy. Just go to him, spin 3 times, win.
I do not like the jetpack levels in Crash 2.
Yeah,
I do have some.
But it's very different in his boss battle, though.
Yeah, but whatever. I like his boss fight was an interesting idea, but execution wise, not the greatest.
Which reminds me of again, Crash Bash, the last boss, Nitro's Outside. There are 2 parts of his battle, and one of them is more or less Cortex in Crash 2, but with way more shit for you to dodge. And this bastard shoots nitro crates at you, and it's all madness. They cranked it up to 11,000.
But yeah, that's all I really got for these 2 bosses. Like we have 3 really fun bosses like in Crash 2, and then towards the end they're just like
too font.
You tried. Here's your golden sticker. You tried, but you know.
Yeah, too fast.
All right. Well, after that, let's go on to Crash Bandicoot 3. And I would just like to say, we are going to be here on a small intermission for Crash Bandicoot 3 because I have some nice news for you. Fuck the motorcycle levels, fuck the motorcycle levels, fuck the motorcycle levels, fuck the motorcycle levels! I fucking hated every single one of those goddamn fucking levels. I know I just said that I'm fine with people's fucking opinions on things. Fuck the motorcycle levels. I hated them. Them forcing that shit on us was fucking terrible. God.
And one thing I hate is when I'm watching a video and suddenly the guy that is presenting the video screams at me for no reason.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I just gotta get that out there. I fucking despise playing all the motorcycle levels in Crash Bandicoot 3.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I do manage more because I played more, but I understand.
I don't like those levels. Orange Asphalt was at least a fun one, but like, I didn't even play the secret one because God, I despise the entire frickin' motorcycle levels.
Do you think the motorcycle levels was better than any vehicle levels on Wrath of Cortex?
I will probably say though that in control wise, they were better than the ones in Wrath of Cortex, but needing to fucking complete them just to get the goddamn crystal by gaining first place, I hated that.
What about in level of rage? What made you rage more?
Definitely Crash 3. Wrath of Cortex like didn't even make me rage. I'm like, oh my god, these controllers are so bad. But yeah, like I completely forgot about the minecart levels. Like I get that's like those levels were barely even worth mentioning because I'm like, this doesn't really make. I don't care. Plus, there's also that one secret minecart level against Crunch Bandicoot where you could just set down the controller. You could literally just set down the controller, go take a piss or something, come back, and you've already won the level. Like, there's no point. But
That's
yeah,
why they put it on a secret. Put it as a secret.
And don't even bother asking me which one I prefer more, the jetpack or the motorcycle. I hate them both evenly.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna ask.
Yeah. Anyways, excluding up all that shit, let's go on to the Crash 3 bosses. So the first one is Tiny Tiger in Crash 3. His one was all right, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like
it was fine.
I
cheese at me, the bastard.
I didn't really like how like aggressive and how like almost pixel perfect you had to be with hitting the lions that were released from the whatever thing it's called. Is
that problem also in Insane Trilogy or?
I'm pretty sure too. Mostly just because you take one hit like per every single thing and stuff like that, you can just instantly die and have to restart like the entire boss fight like all over again and such. I mean, I understand why, though, because, you know, they want to make, like, a difficult game, in which shout-outs to them for actually making a difficult game and such.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Tiny Tiger for the first boss fight in Crash 3 was an alright boss.
Yeah.
Wasn't the greatest, but, you know. Also, yeah, as John mentioned before, you can literally cheese the entire boss fight by literally just standing in one specific position, only on the PS1 version, not the Insane Trilogy version.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they'll throw cheese at you. I never, though, even though I knew about this trick afterwards, I never tried on the PS1. Only on Insane Trilogy because I knew that it would throw cheese at me.
Yeah, that's all I really got for Tiny Tiger. Just fun boss fight, interesting idea, not the greatest, but whatever. Alright, next is Dingodile.
Dingodile's the name?
And I've had an aim. No, we're not doing that. Obviously, like, one thing I should mention is that, like, Dingodile's boss fight is kind of almost not similar to the one in Twinsanity. I know that they came out in 2 separate times, but it, kind of not really. But I don't really know which Dingodile boss fight I prefer more, to be honest. Like the one in Crash 3 is a pretty cool one, where you have to dodge the fireballs and you have to like go into the thing, go smack him, and try to make sure that you get out before he explodes and kills you and stuff like that. But
yeah,
honestly, probably not like the greatest boss, but still a fun one.
yeah, I put it in an A.
Alright.
Also, Penta Penguin just kicks the shit out of him.
It is pretty funny. Alright, next is Entropy. I have to say though, I really do like Entropy's boss fight, to be honest. It's not the hardest one I've ever done, but I do like how you have to use the double jump to like, do your jumps a lot better. Also, by the way, I don't like the double jump in Crash 3.
Devil jump? Oh, the double jump.
Yeah.
I heard the devil jump. I'm like,
the devil jump.
Talking about the death tornado?
No. You get the death tornado after you beat Entropy.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think that Entropy's boss fight is pretty cool, and also how the stage completely turns into like different time eras, like
Yeah, but
phases.
That's only on Insane Trilogy.
Well, you said that we're probably including both of them, so I'm gonna include it there. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just saying that it's only on the Insane Trilogy.
I do like how the projectiles or clocks. I guess you can't really see what they are in the PS1 version. They're probably clocks. I do like it how they switch from like being under and then they go like above and whatnot. I mean that you have to like react very quickly to that.
Mm-hmm.
I do find it to be pretty cool. And also the lasers going like up and down and side to side. That was pretty cool.
It's cool that the stage starts pretty much in the core of the Cortex vortex.
Yeah.
And well, near the core, because the actual core will be probably New Cortex. But, yeah.
I will say though, another thing that I really love about Entropy's boss fight is his intro. His intro is really, really cool. Actually, Entropy as a whole, I love it. I love Entropy as a character. He's pretty cool. But that's all I really got for Entropy. Next up is Engine from Crash 3.
We're gonna
a bit better than the one in Crash 2. Not the greatest. Actually, looking here, I think probably like the only Engine boss fight that I actually really liked was probably the one in Crash 4. And either than that, like the first two, like the bosses that he has in Crash 2 and Crash 3, like in my opinion, I think that they're cool boss fights, but they're not like the best boss fights.
For me, it is the best boss fight, and it's even better in Insane Trilogy. Like he pilots a fucking Gundam, pretty much. He pilots a big ass mech. And then he runs away in a ship when you shoot him too much, and then Pura, of all characters, helps you. It is cool.
A character that showed up for like a couple moments, like in some stages. It's like, yeah, no, we're gonna help you now.
The only Coco boss fight, which let us give a space for Coco, and I really love how she's more playable recently. But yeah,
like I feel like though probably the reason why, and I know this was kind of like, I think this was fixed in the Insane Trilogy, but like I absolutely despise inverted controls. Because I know that like it's like, oh Doc, you dumbass, you're supposed to freaking like all for airplanes and stuff like that, airplane games, down is to go up and up is to go down, but like for me, if I'm playing a platformer, for me, my brain is always up is up and down is down. But if I had to imply that for a boss fight, like how down is up and up is down, my brain's gonna go into fucking override mode and probably explode.
So don't apply that to a boss fight. Apply that to a plane.
I don't know. I mean, it is like a mechanic that you have to deal with in Crash
I
like
I think it's more
games.
because you haven't played much games that you have to pretty much pilot planes.
The only type of vehicles that I've ever did use before in games are just cars and in Crash jetpacks
Yeah,
and
you
motorcycles, I guess.
you haven't done much planes in gaming.
'Cause I'm not a big plane type of guy. But anyways, his boss fight in Crash 3 is, in my
Awesome.
opinion, well, in John's opinion, it's awesome. For me, it's all right. I will say though that my fingers did start to hurt a bit after like, keep trying to move around shit like that from dodging all the projectiles in Crash 3's boss fight. But still, I do like. Okay, I will say I do like the aesthetic though that it takes place in outer space. That is very nice. I will say that. Other than that, for me, it's an alright boss. Alright, and finally is Cortex in Crash 3. This one I am very unsure about. Because in Crash 1, like, his boss fight
It's alright.
was pretty fun, Crash 2's was, you could barely consider that to be a boss. Crash 3, I feel like the main spotlight was just the masks, both Aku Aku and Uka Uka fighting. You just had to, like,
Yeah.
dodge Cortex's projectiles and such, and then once he's vulnerable, you have to smack him into a hole and make him fall down there and take damage.
Also, he throws mines at you.
Yeah. Like, I'm a bit unsure about this. On one hand, I kind of prefer his boss fight a little bit. I like obviously more than his Crash 2 one, but a little bit less than his Crash 1 boss fight. So I am honestly unsure what I'm gonna rank him. I'm probably gonna rank him a lot higher on the B tier, probably more than all the other bosses.
I put him in A.
Actually, now that I think about it, I might.
It's alright.
I'm thinking here.
You know what? Fine, go to B. It's alright to meh. It's not alright to good.
No, if I put that down there, it means I prefer Dingodyle's boss fight a lot less, but his boss fight is fairly cool. I'll probably just do this. I think that probably is good.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm unsure.
You have this thing for tier list. I don't.
Yeah. Alright, so we have finished up the first Naughty Dog trilogy, both Crash 1 and Crash 3.
Time for Vivendi's / Traveler's Tales.
Yeah, in our next game, Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex. I do not like Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex.
Noted. Very noted.
I'm gonna be completely honest, like, I know that bandwagoning is not like a very good thing, but I have sat through and played
No, you're not bandwagoning. You're giving your opinion. You have played the game.
I have played the game. There's probably a lot of people out there who have a soft spot for Wrath of Cortex. I unfortunately do not. I just feel like Crash is way too floaty in that game. Is much slower in that game, even if you do have like the Crash dash shoes and stuff like that. But I honestly just did not like Wrath of Cortex that much.
It's just, for me, I am more lenient towards it, but for me, it's just a little bit boring. It's just the same.
It's boring.
The same, but kind of watered down.
I don't remember what YouTuber said it. I don't think it was Caddy. I think it was probably Wumpa Lewis. I think maybe him, or it was Wumpa Lewis. I think he's a guy who does videos on Crash Bandicoot and stuff like that. I feel like his words on Wrath of Cortex summarize it completely. It tries way too hard to be like Crash Warped. For God's sakes, the music is literally just based off of the one in... Well, like, the main title screen of the secret music is literally based off of Warp's music.
I think it doesn't try to do Warp. I think because you and me both know that The same fate that happened with Twinsanity also happened with Wrath of Cortex.
Yeah,
Both of them were rushed, incomplete,
I'm
and
gonna
a
be
broken mess.
I'm gonna be completely honest. Like if I could time travel back in time or something like that, if I had like loads of money, I would honestly purchase both of the companies and tell them, you guys can work on this as long as you want, as long as it's nice and polished and finished. Because honestly, I feel like if Wrath of Cortex and Twinsanity were like given a lot more time to actually work on it, and if they were not
They have the
rushed,
possibility of being
they
better.
would have been good games. I especially think, and I keep doing this every single time, I do not care. I feel like Crash Twinsanity would have been a fantastic game if that game was fully completed.
I want to say fantastic,
Yeah,
but either way, uh, Wrath of Cortex, I don't think it was trying to be a Crash warped because of its development, but more because shit, our stuff that we thought of didn't work. We don't have time for it. What is the safest play we can do here? We can do the same thing we did before. Or, well, the same thing that was done before. Sure. So they did. That's what they. That's why it's a little watered down. They just try. They they repeated the same formula. Formula not because that's what they wanted, but that's but because that's what they the only thing they could right now.
but yeah, I just genuinely did not like Wrath of Cortex that much. And if you stick around until the end, I have something very, very funny to show you guys. Just you just have to wait. Anyways,
Uh, but yeah, let us start with the boss battles.
I did not like Rocco or whatever the boss's name was. I did not like that first boss fight.
Oh, you remember his name?
I looked at I look no when I was looking up how to or I was looking up like the order of the bosses just to make sure that they were all in the correct order. I did
Look,
catch some of their names, but
look. I only remembered Pyro and Wawa.
yeah, Pyro, Wawa. I forgot what your name was.
Me too.
Le-
And I didn't remember Rocco.
Lalo, Lalo. It probably started with like an L of some sort.
Lani Lulelo.
Lani Lo.
Lani Lulelo.
How about
Breaking Wind.
Larry? I don't.
Martin Ajar.
I'm gonna have to fucking look this up because this is gonna bother me if I don't find the fucking
Bogart.
I forgot what the name of the boss was. Lolo. It's Lolo.
Lolo. Why Lolo? I
don't
understand
know.
Rocco, Wawa, and Pyro, but why Lolo?
I don't know. Isn't the entire fucking
Oh,
thing
I-
that it deals with air and whatnot? Why was it? I don't know, man. Yeah, Rocco's boss fight was not very fun to be honest, because for me it was really awkward to move around the ball trying to hit three or like four other
Yeah.
things.
You didn't
to
like
hit it back.
the ball stages or well the ball
Well,
mechanics.
No, I liked the ball stages. The ball stages, I will say though, were actually pretty fun and stuff like that. Just the one
Really?
in the boss was not fun.
Because the only time which I watched you play the first watch it the first ball stage was pretty aside like oh he's gonna like it. You then say just
Well, I said it, but that doesn't mean like I despised it. Because again, that was only the first one. I didn't know what the other ones were like. The other ones were also pretty good, but the one
like the Eskimo roll.
it was not bad. Sure, there was like a million fucking holes everywhere and stuff like that, but it wasn't the worst.
Okay.
But yeah, the one of the boss did not enjoy that so much. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I understand that it was kind of confusing, and you kind of need to die to understand the mechanics because you're not gonna get it at first go. But aside from that, it's just okay. It just needs a more polishing, which funny I say that.
as much as I also hate to say this, this is a spoiler, but I don't really give a shit. I'm looking at them right now. All of these Wrath of Cortex bosses are not going to go higher than C. They're going to stick in the C to D tier. because they were
Okay.
just really, really not memorable, like, at all. So Rocco was like an alright boss, but not like the best. I just didn't really like it that much.
Now it's time for the sergeant from Full Metal
Wawa
Jacket.
was a bit of an improvement. However, you need to realize that you need to do high jumps because you don't have a double jump until after the boss fight. I don't. I find it weird how the boss just randomly suddenly picked up in difficulty, even though it's the second world of boss. Like, chill out. We just started the game. Well, we got in the second world of the game. Slow down.
I think probably you before maybe you could have done double jumps before.
No,
Maybe
you had
in
to get it
development
after the
in
boss
this
fight.
order.
Uh,
No. I mean in development, not after the sad release. The
I
sad release of not death.
I'm not gonna lie though, when I got to the second world boss, I had no idea why the fuck my jumps weren't working, and that I feel like a normal jump could have cleared that fucking bottom one just fine, but nope, you have to do a crouch jump. That was the reason why I put off Wrath of Cortex, but then once I picked it up, beat the boss, I literally completed the game in that session and still didn't really enjoy it that much.
It just man. It is a little. It is quite difficult, but it's just.
Yeah.
It's just jumping from one platform to the other one.
Also, by the way, fuck the submarine levels. I
Yeah,
did
but
not like those levels.
you don't have boss battles for that yet.
But anyways,
Imagine Crash 5 comes with a submarine boss battle.
I think someone did comment about this, and I think it's a pretty good idea. I think that if they do Crash 5, they should take like the approach they did for Crash 4. Because if you think about it, Crash 4 did take like some inspiration from Wrath of Cortex and stuff like that. I feel like Crash 5 should take stuff from Twinsanity and then do its own spin on it, like where you have to work with Cortex and such.
Though they did pick up from other games too, like Neo Cortex is more lanky, like in Crash of the Titans slash and Mom. Yeah, I'm not gonna call. I'm gonna call mostly Might of a Mutant Mom
Because
because
it's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
It's like calling Fanf.
also, also the reason why I want Crash 5 to be inspired by Twinsanity is because I really want a game that has acapella. I really like Crash Twinsanity's acapella soundtrack. It's so fucking good. It's my
Then
most
comes the
favorite.
question: would the remake actually have acapella?
Probably. If they didn't include acapella, then I would say it's a really shit remake. Well, it's literally like the define. Literally, when they released SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrate, they did not make like any new songs. They just like remastered the old ones. I feel like they would probably do the same for Twinsanity. And here's my pitch. No, you've already got me off on this fucking train. Here's my pitch for my Crash Twinsanity remake for the soundtrack. Either you completely 100% remaster the songs in there, just like make them like, I don't know, more 3D sound space and whatnot or something like that, whatever the hell you do. Or you somehow, very high unlikely chance that you're going to do this, track down all the Spiral Mouth members and then commission them to remake the entire song. just
Lock them in the basement. Put a gun at their head and say, "Sing, motherfucker."
literally just hire the Spiral Mouth if you can find them, if they're all willing to do it. Get them to remake the entire soundtrack. If you can't do that, just remaster it and stuff like that. The Crash Twinsanity soundtrack is so good, and Spiral Mouth is hella fucking underrated.
I know. Look, I'm not saying that it is impossible.
I'm gonna take off this jacket here. Sorry, continue.
I'm not saying that is impossible. I'm just saying that it may not be possible. Like, for example, the Insane Trilogy did not have Josh Mansell's like overseeing in all of it. It just, I don't think they even contacted him. But in Spiral Reignited Trilogy, Steve Copeland, the drummer from the Police, the band Police.
Yeah.
He did survey the music and actually did the main theme for Spiral Reignited Trilogy. And furthermore, I think they contacted Josh Mansell later, and at the least, probably for Crash 4. That's why the his music is on the flashback tapes. Maybe I may be totally wrong. I'm just speculating here, but
Say I sort of got it. Like
so yeah,
if that doesn't happen, if I can ever make my own game, I'm gonna try to make one fucking game that at least has fucking acapella music
yeah,
in it because it's a really underrated genre for video game music.
yeah, because I I think it is probably more hard to do a cappella songs than actual songs with an instrument.
But I digress. Anyways, we were talking about Wrath of Cortex. Next is Pyro. I think that Pyro's boss fight, or I should say Crunch, because it's all fucking Crunch. I will say though that his boss fight was like pretty cool.
Okay,
It was okay. I did think it was a little bit fun, but
I'll
not
say
too much.
I'll say B because Pyro's boss fight. It is cool that you need to like run away from him first to get into a suit, and then spray him with water. But uh, then you have to do it again
Yeah, I know.
for no reason.
And that's another thing with
Yeah.
the other mech suit.
Because
Like,
imagine if it was a long ass, like, as if it was a boulders level, you know,
Yeah.
a chase stage, which you need to like run away from him for all this time till you get the suit. Then when you go back, you go all back, but you need to like still avoid the chasms and the other stuff while in the suit. But if he like gets to the end, which probably will be like I don't know, volcano-ish thingy, lava, I don't know. Then you're probably gonna lose because he's gonna go back at you full power, and you're not gonna, you're not gonna make it. But
that was another thing that I wanted to mention about the mech suit. Like, because I feel like in my personal opinion, like shooting the like the mech suit, like I know it's like weird that you have to like aim it and then release the button or to fire. I didn't have a problem with that. I just had a fucking problem with aiming. That's all I had problems with.
though it is another type of mech suit that you use on Pyro. It's
mean-
not the same.
I know that the standstill jump. I know that the standstill jump for the other suit is like fucking terrible, but considering that you like jump like pretty consistently with like when you're running, I just why wouldn't you just use that? I know that there's probably like a bunch of nitro cates, but you can stop, blow them up, and then keep going. Unless if you're going for the time relics, that's a completely different story, and we're not including those.
Yeah, but I think that you can just go by it. But I don't know. I don't remember. I did do the time relics, but I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember how I fared.
yeah.
But yeah,
yeah.
it's okay. It's okay.
All right. Well, I guess next thing
Oh,
we're gonna
sorry.
do is
One more thing. In development, there was I think a press kit release or in development version of Wrath of Cortex that people found, or the developer Crash of that game showed, which instead of you running, you would have used the vehicle, the
oh
car.
yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah,
Would have been worse. That thank God they thought better not, better not do that. I mean, it's cool and all that. Instead of you going inside the mech suit, you just like turn around, you get get the water, and then you turn around with the car and go straight, which probably wouldn't gone faster, but still, nah.
also, since like you mentioned that, I'm just gonna say shout outs to Game Hut, Beyond Twinsanity, and Fake Nina, and pretty much everyone else who has found findings of like unused and like prototypes of like Wrath of Cortex and Twinsanity. Shout outs to those people. Also Beta M as well.
One of the developers for both WoC and Twinsanity.
What? I
He's
didn't.
one of the developers.
Yeah, I know. I know.
What? Yeah.
They just prefer to go by the alias fake Nina, but whatever. So basically, just shout outs to all those people for fighting all that cool stuff. You can't see it, but I'm doing a thumbs up. Thumbs up to you. Alright, next is Lolo. I did not like this boss fight, to be honest.
It's just confusing.
Yeah, and I've heard about the nightmares that it's like, you have all of his like arms and stuff like that. They have like hit points. It just doesn't show it. That's like completely fine. The worst part that I found to be like the worst thing about the entire boss is like the projectiles that like fall down from above in his left hand or whatever one it was, right hand, laser arm thing. I absolutely hated those attacks.
Also, it's kind of wonky collision too.
I beat Lolo or Crunch and Lolo with like 3% health remaining.
Yeah.
Which I heard some other people
You
do too. So I don't really have much else to say about that boss fight. It was very it sucks. It's very meh. Again, I guess this is our own opinion unless somehow someone out there likes the boss. Congratulations for liking something that we don't like. I honestly just did not like Lolo's boss fight.
Again, I liked Engine's version of that a lot, but that one was just they missed quite a mark there. It missed quite a mark.
Yeah. Anyways, might as well just get this last one out of the way. Crunch Bandicoot, very meh.
It's good.
It's good. Because again, and I'm just gonna keep mentioning this. I feel like the whole using the mask's power thing was done a lot better in Crash 4 than it was done in Wrath of Cortex, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah.
No, because I remember what I don't know if who was playing, either you or me.
Probably you. Because I didn't stream myself fighting that boss.
Oh, so it was me.
Yeah, it was you.
Cortex just used the mask once. That's it. He could have just made like different usage of the mask, like swapping between them, or any other crazy shit like that, or even using different versions of it. Because he stops at Akano, and he loses like 4 points of damage with that on Akano only. Pretty much saying the developer said, "All right, we had no ideas." Just, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah,
I think that Crunch's boss fight, though it was way more fun on It's About Time, it utilizes the mask way more than Cortex. I think Crunch uses the mask way more because he keeps changing on it. Sure, it has a pattern, if I'm not mistaken, but still, it keeps you on your toes, and that's good for a very the final boss fight.
I still don't understand why though that they had to include Cortex in the final boss. I know that he's the bad guy and such, but like in the final boss, he literally just does nothing except get his ass beaten by Crunch, and then you go up there, you smack him in the head, and he just
again
goes back.
Incomplete. A broken mess.
Yeah, I did not. I will say though that I did like it how he did swap between all the masks and stuff like that, but the boss fight, in my opinion, just dragged out for way too long. And I know that you could have I know that you just went on this entire spiel and stuff like that, but I feel
probably dragged way too long because you kept dying and using save states.
Maybe. Yeah, but whatever. Hey, I went through the bullshit with some of the other games, so I have the right to use save states. But I know that you just went on this entire spiel about, Crash 4's thing, but I just feel like Crash 4's final boss with all the masks was much better than the one in
the other Crash
Cortex. The other Crash 4. We have the superior Crash
older
4, we have the superior Crash 4, and we have the inferior Crash 4. Again, just did not like Crunch Bandicoot. Just the entire game, I just did not like. That's it. That's all I got for that. Anyways,
You didn't
next.
have the expectation that you wouldn't like it.
Yeah, even like in the first world, I'm like, yeah, this does not really feel too good, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, next up is Crash Twinsanity. Now, unfortunately, with Crash Twinsanity, again, it obviously being an unfinished game, I do like some of the bosses. They are not my most favorite. I don't prefer them a lot over the others, but they are pretty good bosses. Kind
Also,
of.
one thing to point out, I don't know why the person who did the tier list did that. They separated Mecha Bandicoot's boss battle from Cortex boss battle, which they are pretty much the same, just different phases of it, but okay.
Whatever.
And they forgot engines, which I understand. That's not really that much of a boss battle, but it still is one.
I don't know, man.
So let's rate Engine's boss battle first. And probably, I don't know, you in edit, you're gonna put a sticker on it.
I probably will put a sticker on there. I'll place it wherever I end up talking about it, to be honest. But obviously, with the engine boss fight for Twinsanity, that's D tier. Probably very bottom of D tier because fucking.
The idea is somewhat cool, maybe. Oh well, the idea is somewhat safe because it's you running from missiles in the same way you run from Dingodals shooting fireballs in the air in Crash Warped. And the TNT throwing is pretty much the Ripperoo, but it's easily avoidable. Engine's
boss fight for Twinsanity, whether you like me saying this or not, was literally just a transition from that, just a Rusty Walrus. They could have easily probably cut that part out.
I think it's probably because they cut the scene in which Cortex.
They cut a lot of things.
Yeah, that Cortex was dressed up as Coco again, and Engine kind of fell in love with Cortex.
Oh, Dr. Cortex? How confusing!
What is these sensations?
But, anyways, yeah, Engine and Crash Twinsanity, that's an instant D tier. I'm sorry to say this, there's no arguing about it.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to say it. Anyways, now let's go on to the actual bosses included here. Yeah. I feel like with Cortex and the Mecha Bandicoot, since that you are going to be fucking angry about doing them separately.
Agree.
I will say,
if you want to separate it, it's fine. I'm not gonna do that, but
I will say though, in my personal opinion, I feel like both the Mecha Bandicoot and Neo Cortex. I know it's the first boss. I will say though that it is a really cool first boss, and it's actually pretty fun to do.
It's a good start. Yeah, I won't lie. It kind of reminds us of the first Neo Cortex battle in the Crash 1.
And the fact that I prefer the Twinsanity one, Twinsanity, as we said a lot of the times, that it's unfinished. The fact that I prefer these more than 2 and 3, that's kind of saying something.
Yeah, it's saying that you like Twinsanity.
I know.
Maybe a little biased on this Twinsanity.
I'm aware. But yeah, I feel like for them as like the first introductory bosses, I do feel like they're really fun to fight against.
No, it's just okay.
But yeah, the next boss is Tikimon. Tiki, is that how you do it? Is that how you pronounce it? Tikimon. This one was
Pokemon, but Tiki.
This one was an okay boss fight. If you're just constantly running, you'll never get hit. I feel like the one
if you don't jump on the boss.
Yeah, don't jump.
After you defeat him.
Yeah, don't jump on him after he's already defeated because he'll still hurt you for some weird fucking reason. I don't understand why. It makes no sense.
It's the premise is good, but the outcome is not.
I mean, the one thing
They should have polished it more, but
again,
again,
we didn't have time
insanity.
for that. I will say though that I feel like the one thing I just really didn't like, I kind of disliked about it was just trying to aim Cortex into Tikimun's mouth. That's the only complaint I have. Other than that, it was an okay boss, so I'm gonna put him in C tier. So, yeah. All right, next is Uka Uka. I will say though for this, I fucking love Uka Uka's boss fight music in Twinsanity. His boss fight is okay. It is not the greatest boss I've ever done. It's not the most challenging one, but it is an okay boss.
Yes, the mighty Uka Uka. What can I say about him?
He's okay.
Yeah, probably because I don't remember
It's
I don't remember his boss battle.
okay. To quickly give you a recap on Uka Uka, basically,
Lorenzo's not gonna be at that high.
basically what you need to do is you need to throw Cortex at like 3 switches that are like located like kind of on their own separate platforms. So you have to throw them on there while avoiding Uka Uka, like, you know, smashing the ground and sending ice shockwaves at you and throwing a snowball or a giant snowball at you. Then once the Neocortex flips the switch, a button in the center will open and you need to press it, which sends flames up from vents that will burn Uka Uka. It will defeat him. That's literally all the boss fight is. Not the most challenging boss, but I'm going to imagine that your ranking for Uka Uka is going to be very, very low.
So I'm gonna go with what you're saying and say that you said that he is okay. So I'm putting him a C because I don't remember.
I'm gonna probably put him like
not
in.
a pet.
I'm probably gonna put him in B tier. I did prefer his boss fight more over Tikimun, but again, he's not like the greatest Twinsanity. But Twinsanity doesn't really have a whole lot of like excellent, great bosses. To be completely honest with you. That's all I really got for Uka Uka. Like Twinsanity is probably gonna be the quickest one because it's unfinished, and the bosses are all just very meh and alright. Alright, next is Entropy and Embryo's boss fight.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fun boss fight. I mean, with the
Entropy fucking T-poses.
yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware that he T-poses. I feel like my one struggle with that boss fight is just trying to like jump to like each platform as Entropy breaks them, because there's not like the shadows aren't going to really help you out that much. But honestly, not the worst boss fight in the entire game.
Pairing them together were great, but they forgot the polishing, they forgot the waxing, they forgot the wood, everything.
Did I also mention that Embryo actually like goes under the water, and I think also T-poses down there and just waits until he's called again? Although I really do like Entropy and Embryo's boss music in Crash Twinsanity, again, their boss fight is okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna put them at top of C tier, as you saw.
And the thing is that another thing is that if I'm not mistaken, you get shot up from Engine's ship, right? To the iceberg where they are.
No,
then
there's
shot
a
up
bunch
again back to the iceberg lab.
Yeah, there was a bunch of TNT for some reason that's laying outside of Engine's battleship. Engine falls, lands on it, detonates it. As you just said, you land all the way on the iceberg. You fight Entropy and Embryo. Embryo then hits the iceberg, sends you all the way back over to the iceberg lab, and then that's that entire sequence.
Yeah, the worst thing is that it was the biggest well that happened moment.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you remove that fight, nothing would change. Even more because they didn't they cut the the scenes of entropy and embryo and even Dingodile, I think, knowing about
The treasure.
the treasure. So yeah, just why is it that it's clearly incomplete?
Like okay, as I mentioned before, that's why I also shouted out like of course I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna like say like it's a still it would have been like a much better boss fight or like saying it's like a best boss fight. As I said, like from the Game Hut, like I think it was Game Hut or maybe it's like another person who recorded it, but there was footage that shows that there would have been a lot more with Embryo hitting the iceberg as like TNT blocks or whatnot would have been like falling. You had to like time your jumps to like activate them so that they land in his mouth and hurt him and stuff.
Yeah.
That would have been cool to see, but again,
But I
Twinsanities.
even if it's incomplete and a broken mass, I think it would have benefited way more if it wasn't there. You just been shot from engine's ship back to the iceberg lab. It wouldn't change it. It won't change anything.
Yeah. I won't deny that though. If they would have done that, nothing would have been changed. There would have been no differences at all.
Yeah, like maybe if you really want, have a cutscene of engine just, I don't know, hearing about a treasure, and then that's why they appear there. But even if they didn't hear it, that they appearing there is already quite far fetched because Cortex just used a goddamn machine to teleport the entire lab to the 10th dimension, and suddenly this chuckle fucks are here.
And then
Out
Spyro
of
appears.
nowhere.
And then Spyro appears fucking out of nowhere too. I don't know, man.
No, but that part was supposed to be a joke.
I know.
So
I know.
Spyro appearing, it's fine. Hell, maybe Spyro's in the 10th dimension. Who knows? It's not canon. For Spyro, at least. But still.
All right. Okay, next up is Dingodile. I think Dingodile's boss fight in Twinsanity was actually kind of cool. To be honest, like, again, as I said before, tons of times.
Little shitty, what do we call it? Collision, but yeah, hitbox collision, but yeah, it was cool.
As I've said numerous amounts of times, I don't have a favorite boss from Twinsanity. I will say though that Dingodile's boss fight was pretty cool. So I'm gonna probably just put him up in B tier.
I put him in B too.
Rumor has it that you two have some treasure, and I want a piece of that pie. I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's the answer. You don't need to fight Embryo in Trophy. That's the answer. Dingodile somehow knew it. No, wait. White. I don't know why I went to Australian accent. Dingodile hear about it after you crashed down on his thing, I think. Right?
I don't know. I still really would have liked to see that one cutscene before the boss fight where Neo Cortex was just like, it's like, oh, hire an Australian person. I said it would be a great idea. I said, or whatever it was. Just him completely acknowledging the fact that Dingodile has like in this game at least has like a very terrible Australian accent. But yeah.
I think it was
Alright, next is Madame Amberly. I
think it was good.
do not have a whole lot to say on Madame Amberly. I figured out a way that you can cheese the entire boss fight if you stand between two platforms, and she'll always shoot the same platform even if it's open.
Yeah, but even without that cheese, it's okay to good. Like, even if playing with Cortex is... but at least it's not the block of cheese that is on Crash 4.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I'm just gonna probably put her in C tier, probably one below
I
Entropy
put
and
an A,
Embryo.
actually.
Haha for
I did like
Amberly.
I did like her boss battle.
I kind of didn't, to be honest. It's okay. Not the greatest, but. Alright, and last up for Twinsanity before we are almost done is the Evil Twins. The boss fight was okay.
Yeah, I agree with you. It was okay. And having like the like everyone battling together, like you go and play as Nina, and then you go play as Cortex, and then you go play as Crash.
That was a cool idea, I will say.
It was cool. I think that they didn't put in Crash's About Time for some reason. Why didn't they pull that up on
I don't know, man.
on the Entropies battle? Like, why?
I don't know, man. I don't know, but
We're gonna get there.
I don't know. For the entire Evil Twins boss fight, like the entire concept where you have to fight all of them, as you just said, was a good idea. However, the actual boss fight itself is not very good, to be honest. Like, yeah, yada yada, insert quote about why Nina's grapple hook thing was fucking annoying to deal with on the final boss. I understand that. I know that's not what you're saying, but that's what I've heard a lot of people saying for that boss fight.
But the problem with the character, not the boss battle. What? I'm right.
I don't know, man. Just I didn't really like Nina Cortex's entire gameplay, like maneuvers and stuff like that.
Yeah, they liked it so much that they put it on Crash 4 for Tawna, which is way better.
Yeah, it is way better.
Even though sometimes the I think the hook shot kind of reminds itself at its origins and don't hit the spot, but yeah.
I'm gonna probably just put this like because I don't hate the Evil Twin. Oh, I hate the Evil Twins as characters,
Yeah.
but like the boss fight, it was an alright boss. The music for it was actually pretty good. I like that.
Considering you're taking B as good, maybe put either in B or in C. Like
I'm gonna do like
bottom of
here, amazing, cool, good, alright,
dead, death.
meh. I'm gonna probably just put it in like an alright. Probably above Tiki Mun, to be honest.
Yeah.
Though I really didn't like the Cortex part. You have to like keep spamming the button to like destroy the arms and stuff like that.
Is it worse than Pyro?
Not really. I honestly don't know.
Is it worse than that Cortex battle on Crash 2?
Actually, now that I think about it, there.
Is it worse than Mata Emily and Entropy?
Probably not like worse though, but it's all right.
Okay.
And I just realized my error of my ways. I'm gonna move.
The error of my ways.
The Cortex 2 boss is gonna go down into.
Crash, stop hitting me!
You haven't seen the last of me, Crash Bandicoot.
You haven't seen the last of me, Crash Bandicoot. Just to wait.
Also, speaking of which, I do like Lex Lang's voice for Neo Cortex and stuff like that, but there also is a very nice special charm with Clancy Brown's version of Neo Cortex. As I mentioned before, and as you also say before, as much as I hate to fight with this, considering I love Lex Lang, nothing could beat Clancy Brown's Neo Cortex laugh. It is really good.
Yeah. I tried to make it a lot for the TF2 announcer thing, but the mod. But...
Anyways, we are almost done here. Yippee! We're on to our final game for today, unless if somehow we come back. Well, I'm not gonna continue. If I were to continue, it'd be in a part 2. Because at some point, maybe we'll do a tier list for Crash of the Titans and Mind Over Mutant and stuff like that for their bosses. I don't 100% know yet because I'd still have to play those games. But
I don't even remember Crash of the Titans have bosses.
I haven't even experienced any of the bosses yet, if there is bosses. But Anyways, we're moving on to our last game, that being
Crash Bandicoot. It's about time.
There we go. They put Steve Copeland in the game.
wasn't Steve who did Steve
No,
Copeland?
it's from Spyro. I'm
Oh.
kidding because Engine plays a drama.
Oh,
And Steve
okay.
Copeland's a drama.
I thought
I
you were.
mentioned him
A second there, I
before.
thought you were talking about the voice actors because I thought there was like a.
No.
I don't know. I don't remember who voices Embryo in Crash 4, but
Me neither.
I can look that up here. Voiced by Roger Craig Smith in Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time.
I remember that name, but I don't remember where I heard of it. But
I can like find some of like his voice actors and or voicing and stuff like that.
maybe Metal Gear Solid, but I may be totally wrong.
Shit. I honestly don't know. I can't find it.
Intermission. Oh, he's the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog. That's why.
Yeah. We're probably
That is why.
we probably could have just summarized that at first.
Quite familiar, this Charles Martinet. I don't remember where did it come from.
What? Why'd you say Charles Martinet? Charles Martinet
Because
is the
he's
voice
the
actor
voice
of
of
Mario.
because Roger Craig Smith is the voice of Sonic in the same way Charles Martinet is the voice of Mario. The
Okay,
icon.
I was confused why you talking about that. Yeah, we're really fucking stupid for that. Let's just pretend like we didn't say that.
Look, I'll say that the only Sonic games I have played on the Genesis and they don't have voices.
Yeah.
The other Sonic games, I watched it, probably Game Grumps play it, or some snippets of that fan dub, which Shadow the Hedgehog pissed on Eggman's wife.
Yeah.
Like,
Anyways, excluding that.
correction. I did play the mod of Sonic the Hedgehog, but
That's not
also doesn't
really-
have voices.
That's not really a Sonic game. I know it has Sonic in it, but it does not follow the same Sonic formula. But anyways, I digress.
But it is a Sonic game.
Alright, our first boss for Crash 4 is Engine. I feel like Engine's boss fight in Crash 4 is much better than all the other Engine boss fights in the entire series, excluding for you since you said that Crash 2's Engine boss fight is the best, which I disagree, but... Or Crash 3 or whichever it was. I don't fucking remember. We've been at this for like an hour and 25 minutes. I can't remember what you said like a couple...
Sorry, I'm still getting on. Where Roger Craig Smith? Where is this guy from?
We probably
He
just-
seems familiar. I think he's from Metal Gear Solid.
We probably just triggered a whole bunch of fucking Sonic fans. Yeah, well, sorry that I don't fucking...
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's just hilarious now and
Yeah, we're fucking sorry that I don't spend all my goddamn time fucking remembering who all the voice actors are.
No, you don't need to do that. No one is forced to know such things. But it is good and cool to know such things. But no one's forced to.
Anyways,
Anyway.
back to this. I feel like
good boss fight. A for me.
I did really, yeah, I put him in A, or what was A, cool tier now. Actually, I should probably rename
Cool
this so I can
team, then.
remember. I will say though that Crash 4's Engine boss fight is a lot better than all the other Engine bosses that I've dealt with.
I still think that Crash Walk is better, but that version of It's About Time Engine is way better than the atrocity that was the first Engine battle.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I got to say. I do like the idea that it was kind of like
Though
it's
he do uses more things from Entropy's boss battle
from Crash 3. That's what I was gonna mention too.
Yeah.
I will say though that that was kind of like a neat little reference and stuff like that, but yeah, that's all I really got. Though I don't understand why though that when I got hit by a sonic wave or whatnot, it's probably a lot more deadlier than I'm probably thinking. But like, literally when you get hit by like those Sonic Wave, whatever disc.
It's probably because of
things.
Roger Smith.
No, not that. No, like the sound waves coming from like his entire thing. I don't get like when you get hit by them and when you die you just like faint. Like bitch, I could probably take that shit. I'm gonna get back up and keep going.
I think that's because that's the standard death animation.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But anyways, yeah, prefer Engine's boss fight a lot more in Crash 4 than I do with the other games.
Yeah.
I have no idea why Louise was even bothered to be put into this because it's not even a boss; it's a mini boss. I'm just gonna put you down.
It's still a boss. Like, what Crash game, which probably is on Titans or what I call it, Mom, but it's still a boss. Like it's the. I think it's one of the only games that actually has a mini boss fight instead of an actual full-fledged boss fight from the Crash series.
Even then, the entire mini boss is just not that memorable. I mean, it was kind of cool that you had to like lure some enemies to hit the tentacles, but like
I did like.
I didn't really enjoy that boss.
Me.
Anyways,
okay.
Embryo's boss fight.
What if you counted her as a boss battle? Where would you put it?
I honestly don't know. Probably on the lower end spectrum because it's not really that noteworthy.
Okay, so it's not right.
Probably probably very bottom of all right.
Yeah.
Anyways, next is Embryo in Crash 4. I will say though, I really like his boss in
same boss battle as Crash 1, but better.
Yeah. So that's why I'm probably gonna put it like up here.
I like it. A.
Yeah. Now next we have is the first Neo Cortex boss fight from Crash 4. Although fucking bullet hell as hell, I think it was actually a pretty cool boss.
It was Engine 2, The Reckoning.
Yeah.
It wasn't really that much of a Neo Cortex battle. It was just Engine 2 again.
I still like this boss fight. I probably will say though that I prefer...
It is hard, but it doesn't fit with being Cortex, you know. But it's fine. So
actually, now that I think about it, I'll put that there.
Yeah, put it on B.
There we go. Next is Entropy and his female counterpart.
Jesus fucking Christ! What a train wreck!
I literally.
Let us be sincere. Considering that Louise, you battle her at the end of the level, wouldn't you consider the Entropies also a mini boss because you need to play a little stage of sorts before you get to them? So put them on why are you included?
I unfortunately, as much as I hate to say this, there is literally nothing I can think about in the Entropy boss fight that I loved a lot.
Again, the same thing that happened with what was it? The Evil Twins. It could have happened here. It could have happened like, oh, you Tropy is following Crash or Coco in one part. They destroy one part of the thing. But then, oh, Ton is on the other side, and she like needs to run from female Tropy and hit this thing. And then Cortex just comes with a ship and a small ass UFO ship from outside that tries to destroy things, kind of like Star Wars. And Entropy goes after him. But then Dingodile appears, just waddling his feet. Tries to break the last generator while female Tropy goes after him. Would have been cool. It would have been way better to just kind of make it a joint effort than just crush and poker again. And the boss battle is done. Just 2 points of damage. 2.
Yeah. As much as I hate to do this, I'm gonna have to just put it in top of D tier because like I don't really have like anything noteworthy to say about the boss.
I'm gonna put it on C solely because like the part before on you getting to that maybe was cool. Like it was cool. You going on the trails and getting the war. If you get all berries, get the war Easter egg, that was cool too. War or though I think she could. Coco could also say wall too, but I think it was more on her thing, but yeah.
Anyways, finally to end it all off, we have.
And not only that, sorry to interrupt. I do like it a lot. Entropy's boss battle song. I like it a lot. The use of claws.
Yeah. Anyways, finally we have Neo Cortex's boss fight in Crash 4. I will say though that I feel like the Entropy boss fight could have again very much be like the final boss and whatnot, but I guess the time travel thing was an interesting thing to really delve to, but
I guess you need to end it with Neo Cortex.
Because it wouldn't be a Crash game if it didn't end with Neo Cortex, but whatever.
Then again, you could say the same thing about Castlevania with Dracula, but there are games from Castlevania that you don't.
Castlevania game.
Yeah, but there are games from Castlevania. Normally in Castlevania, like Battle Dracula, he's the big bad. But not all Castlevania games you'll defeat Dracula in the end. Sometimes you're Dracula. Sometimes you're Dracula itself. Sometimes you're not, but he just appears and say, "Ha it was I," and then just goes, just disappears. Just say, "Hey, I'm here for my." I'm here for the money to appear here. Oh, thanks for paying me. Anyways, bye.
Again, I will say
But he's a man and whatever. Bye.
I will say though
I
will say though that the entire thing of taking Neo Cortex back to 1996 or whatever to defeat or stop himself from creating Bash Bandicoot. I feel like that was like a cool idea.
Vindaloo.
Yeah.
And Dumpling.
Yeah.
Truck Mom Party too.
Yeah, it's Cash Panuka, Cock Vindaloo, Tractor Barn Party, Ned Climax, and Dumpling.
Yeah, goddamn you, Ned Climax.
But anyways, I did like the entire idea of going back in time. I still feel like it probably would have been cool though if they just would have ended it at the Entropy boss fight and stuff like that. But
honestly, having that as a twist was good.
Yeah, it's kind of like almost a bit like Twinsanity, kind of, where you work with Cortex, but at the end where you think he's had a change in heart, he then pulls a fast one on you. It's like, I'm still evil. It's like, I'm still evil, bitch. But then he fucks himself in the process, and then he ends up getting transported away. Now, I know that you said that you prefer the Crunch Bandicoot one a lot more over the Crash 4 one, so...
In terms of using the masks against the player, yes.
I will say, though, that it was a cool boss fight, nevertheless.
It was. That's why I put him in... Wait. I put him in A.
Actually, I'm going to probably put him in A.
Same with Crunch. I put both in A because... Though it didn't use much of the ideas that Crunch boss battle in Wrath of Cortex had, it still was good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Just because I'm saying it could have been better doesn't mean that it wasn't good. Just that it is good. Could I have a little bit more to be perfect, but it's still good,
But yeah, all right. We are now currently at the very end of the tier list video. And of course, for me, probably not John. I will probably be moving some things around here to probably, maybe. I honestly don't know.
I'm more objective. I'm more objective than him.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think if there are any other bosses I could put up into S tier. Because looking at it, I don't really.
Kind of empty there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, for me too, but.
But I honestly don't know. I don't think any other boss can really go up in there unless if somehow by the time I'm done recording this, I end
Maybe
up
put
just
Buzz Lightyear's dad up there.
Buzz Lightyear's dad. Like in Crash 3, I was probably thinking about moving him up to S tier, but then I still remember that like he's not like the best boss. But
From that game.
I mean, like I like his boss fight a lot more than the other Crash 3 bosses, but like I don't think it's S tier material.
What would make it S tier material?
I honestly don't know. I genuinely.
It's your.
It's my fucking opinion, okay?
And you gotta understand that in my opinion, I don't know how to rank my opinion.
Exactly. Shut up. I think I might actually put Embryo's boss. Well, maybe not his Crash 1 though. I did really like his Crash 4 boss fight, even when it did like the
Swapping
inverted
between
shit.
inverted mode.
Yeah,
it was cool. It was cool. I would say that it was cool.
Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones. Not really from what I'm seeing, to be honest.
Crutch suddenly goes S tier.
No, Crunch is not going to S tier. He's staying down there. Yeah, I don't really know if I could put any other characters up in S tier.
Not because of what he did, but because he was created and then totally abandoned.
Exactly. Why the fuck should I have sympathy for him? He was created for one game specifically, made a cameo in Twinsanity and a couple of other cameos, and then he was fucking scrapped. Well, not just completely. Like he was included in Crash of the Titans and Mind Over Mutant, but in Crash of the Titans he was frozen for the entire game. Mind Over Mutant, he was a boss. Other than that...
At least it was more than Tawna.
Yeah, I guess. I honestly don't.
Tawna just appeared on... Not the alternate Tawna. Just the normal-ass Tawna. Just appeared on Crash 1, Crash Boom Bang. That's it.
Other than that...
Not even in the COD games. She only started appearing on Nitro Field. She didn't even appear in the others. They created more characters. Like, oh, this one called Pasadena Possum. Oh, this one that looks like a sad panda or whatever. What about Tawna? What about Tawna?
Honestly, I think
totally abandoned.
Honestly, I think I'm good for where I'm at with my tier list because I can't really imagine putting any of the other bosses in the other tiers. So, all right, as you are currently seeing on screen right now, we have both of our tier lists for all the Crash Bandicoot bosses, or Bash Bandicoot bosses, I should say, or Cash Banuco, whatever the hell you want to call him.
Rash Bandicoot.
I will say though that it was still pretty fun to do this. Like
Crash Bandicoot.
Even though like this video's gone on for a little bit longer than I thought it was going to, it's still a fun video to do nevertheless because I haven't really done a whole lot of Crash Bandicoot stuff on this channel, so it was fun.
And I did rope him into liking Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah. Now I will say though, don't 100% take my word for this. At some point, maybe I might do a part 2 to this where I do Crash of the Titans and Mind Over Mutants bosses. I don't know because I still haven't played them.
10 minutes.
I still haven't played either one of those games, so...
Me neither, so if you play it and complete it... well, I did play Mom, but I didn't play Crash of the Titans. So if you play it, you would have to wait for me.
Yeah, that is one thing I don't want to have to deal with, though.
Yeah.
Anyways, but fucking, I forgot to mention something, because I totally didn't forget about this. I have my secret...
Didn't show your history there.
No.
in a split second.
Yeah, it's
No,
just
no, no.
nothing. That's just nothing but porn. I'm kidding. You didn't think I was gonna forget, did you? Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. This is my official tier list for the Crash Bandicoot games, excluding the GBA games or some of the DS games, PS Vita games, stuff like that. We have all of these here. So Crash Bandicoot 4 and 1, very hot take, is up in S tier. Crash 2, just a little bit under that with the Insane Trilogy. Crash 3 and Twinsanity in B tier, because, you know, all that stuff. Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex in D tier, because obviously I've already shat in that game enough already. I just did not like it. I've played a smidge of Crash of the Titans, and I've never played Mind Over Mutant. I will probably play these other games right here and such. I'm honestly
Only played
unsure.
Crash Team Racing, but I haven't played Nitro Kart or Tag Team.
You've played Crash Bash.
I played Crash Bash.
It's the one game that you will not shut up about.
What do you mean? The only game I will not shut up about.
Anyways, excluding up all that stuff, this was also my Crash Bandicoot boss tier list and my Crash Bandicoot game tier
Though
list.
I do want to know how you're gonna get Nitro Field into that.
I honestly,
Don't you not have a PS?
I have a Switch. It is available on Nintendo. Well, I have a Switch Lite. It's available on Nintendo Switch.
Oh.
So I could play that there at some point, even though Nitro Field is literally just a remaster of Crash Team Racing. But anyways, I digress. This game tier list may change at some point because, again, have not finished Titans, haven't even played Mind Over Mutant yet. But yeah, that was our Crash Bandicoot, stuff like that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I don't want to promise myself. I was thinking about making an end of the year video for this channel, but I don't want to sit down, so yeah. Thank you so much. Have a good day, have a good morning, have a good afternoon, whatever time of the day it is for you. I'll see you next time.